and welcome to the Reflection Show. My name is Martha Anabila. There are lots of young women out there who face several challenges that they are able to talk about. They don't even know whom to talk to about, especially for adolescents, teenagers who are growing up. Today, our conversation is going to be a blend of how young women need to have access to sanitary pads or have good menstrual hygiene, and also a blend of how mothers can help young people with great mentorship and also be role models for their words. We are just to be a bit biased, to concentrate a bit more on women or young girls who are growing up. And this is because a time has come in our lives that we understand that the woman is one person that will grow to nurture a whole community. So we want to pay attention to the young girl. We need you to stay tuned because this conversation is going to be an amazing one and there is so much you can learn from it. Let's go for a break. When we are back, we start the discussion. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. I've been joined here by amazing two young women, Madam Khadija Abdul Samad. She's a communications and gender officer for Sweda Ghana. She's a big woman. Hmm. And hey, Eddie Wade, dear, please help me. Help me mention you. I can mention only the Susanna. The other one is what? Nabil say. Anutiga Susanna. My hometown name, but we didn't see me. She's the founder of Protect Our Future Foundation, and she's been looking at a lot of things that that affect young people. And then Sweden Ghana is more about young people, and then women, especially in agric, and then something businesses for them to do for themselves. We've all been young women before. We are still young women, and there's so much that we have come to know. But we still have other young women who are still teenagers or just crossed 20 that they have a lot of issues. I'm saying just crossed 20, and I'm just remembering years ago when I just crossed 20, how my life has been. And I'm not old, I'm still a small girl, but I'm more than my middle 20s. So at that stage, it's been very tough for young women. How can we help young women handle some of the challenges that they face? Let me start with you.
Oh, okay. So, hello to everyone, and thanks for having myself and Susie. And I love programs like this because they give us the opportunity to network, meet new faces, and sisters who are doing a lot in the development space because it's a very big space. We can do enough. We cannot do so much, but together we can do a lot. So thanks for having us. As you rightly said, it's not easy to be a young lady or a young girl, especially in a space where certain conversations are taboo. We're going to be looking very in when we get to the point
different aspects.
When we, for example, when you talk about conversations on when you're growing as a young lady, certain changes happen in your body, for example. You in this space, it's very difficult to have that conversation because that change is linked to a bigger responsibility, which is sex. And so to even start the conversation of, okay, your breasts are growing, there's something that's going to be happening to you every month that if you handle yourself in a certain way, look at the way I'm even talking about it. You get it. This is the way the conversation happens in spaces like this. So this young lady grows, she's not privy to information, which is such an essential in today's world. I mean, someone says that if you don't, as a parent, invest the time and energy to educate your child, someone somewhere will pay a certain body to put something on TV that would harm your child. And the same thing you don't want them to hear, they will hear it and do worse. So for me, the real concern is how we are going to break that ability to share information that our young girls really need to know. And we don't get to the stage where those kinds of conversations are coming from people who use that to harm them. You know, I'm sure Susie will go into the
Yeah.
menstrual bit, and then maybe I can share some, very worrying questions I heard from girls when we were celebrating Menstrual Hygiene Day
Wow.
in Savulgo. Yeah.
What are some of the issues or challenges that you have seen on the field that young women face?
One is exactly what she said, the ability to speak. Most of them can't um, freely talk about whatever that they are facing.
Mm.
I want to believe that the home is the first school, the mother is the first teacher, but these girls cannot even talk to their own parents. When we go to the field, I talk to these girls and I want to know how their first experience of menstrual, like when they had their menses, like they should share their experience with me. And you see the majority of them talks about, oh, I come to school and I ask my friend, this my friend said this my friend. It's a few that you hear them say, my mother or my sister. Like I asked my mother or my sister. Most of them are like, I asked my friend, I asked. So as family, as the home, as a mother, you are not able to talk to, you've not created an environment conducive enough for your child, your daughter, your girl to come to you and say, Mommy, this is what has happened to me. For you to be able to guide her and give her the best advices on your period, they tend to talk to people who have nothing or have no knowledge about them, have either very little or have wrong knowledge or have nothing at all to offer them. And one of them is this the ability to talk about it. Also, our environment, the upbringing too, is also very important. There are certain communities, as she said, or certain communities, certain places. As a child, you can't talk about certain things. There is a stigma associated with period. You even go to the schools, we bring out the cards and then we place them on the table. And most of them are like, they are shy.
Just part, not
Those who
even
know
not,
it,
not
yes.
even condom or family
Thank
planning.
you.
Hey,
Just part. Those who know what it is, they start and then they start. Like,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
that
yeah.
So I asked, what is this? It's part, like the one who among them is brave enough
Yeah.
to talk, it's like it's part. And I said, what do they use it for? Nobody wants.
they feel
There
it's
were certain
sexual.
schools, yes.
I think,
There are
I
certain
feel
schools,
it's
even
sexual.
when there are guys, because we want to make it like the knowledge is for everyone. Even the guys.
They won't talk. They won't talk.
Yes, they won't talk. They will talk only when you let their colleague guys, like the guys leave the classroom.
Yeah.
That is when you see them opening up. And even with that, it will take time for them to come up with what they know, for you to now help them with better information. So some of these things are really.
Do you think that mothers? Well, I've stopped asking this question sometimes because it's like a generation to generation. Even in my book, Inspiration for Purpose, I spoke about understanding your parents. And at that point, I got to understand that our parents may not know certain things. So people in the rural communities may not know that they have to educate their children about menstrual hygiene, about sex, about some things. So how do they give it to their children?
Martha, for me, I believe they do know they're supposed to. It's the methodology that's the problem.
Okay.
If you observe our languages, it's very secretive in the way it talks about certain things. It's not plain.
And they are not even with words
Exactly.
to explain. So you want to say something in Dagbani or in Fafra or in Mampusi or yes, and you don't know which words to use. Sometimes you have to even end up saying, Gafara something before you say something.
For example, I do know that menses is aswarlam. Swarlam. And I remember I met someone and he was trying to explain the root of the word. It has some connotation to do with how the clouds form when it's about to rain or so.
Really?
Yeah, I remember someone giving me that history. But far from that, point is, because it has a relation to a bigger thing that we don't like to talk about, that is sex. When you have your menstruation, what's the first thing they tell you? That it's a sign that you are a woman, and when you are intimate with a man,
No,
you
you're
can
even saying
procreate.
it nicely. If a man touches you,
I'm talking about
Yes.
it in the normal.
Yes,
I'm not even
yeah.
talking about
the
Yes,
misconceptions,
but
yeah.
if you are, don't let a man touch you. Don't be playing with that. That's how they put it. So the person is like, but I go to school and I play with this guy. So what do you mean by play? Do you get it? And that's where the worry of friends come in. Because you have some friends who, yes, their parents will not tell you, but like I always tell people, and it's not just a matter conversation. Sometimes there are kids or young girls who are so much comfortable talking to their daddies than even their mothers.
Wow.
Yes, they are very comfortable because they feel their mothers may be a bit judgmental about it. Yes, the societal influence and all that. But some daddies I know are very open to the conversation.
I had a conversation with some male friends, and I asked them that how would they feel if their son or their daughter comes to them. So if their son comes to you and says, "Daddy, I've had sex," and if your daughter comes, "Daddy, I've had sex," how will you approach both situations?
Chavi, you know why?
And the guy was like, he said, the guy, like, "Oh wow, how was it?" But if he's like, "Why you let the guy touch you?" Why you? I was like, why are you going to ask the girl why she made the guy touch her? But you're going to look at the guy and say, "Shall I give you 5?" And and going to say, "Shall I you've done it?"
They are deep,
like, why?
It connects to so many things. I just don't want us to go there because we'll deviate.
Yeah.
Because even society-wise, when a guy cheats, for example, it's normal. Like but if a girl does it, it's a bigger it's bigger than it appears. But anyways,
Martha, there are also
Sure.
guys who are comfortable with talking to their mothers.
Yeah.
I know of someone who gave us the story that when he had completed the JSS in ET and was going to secondary school, his mom made sure he goes with condoms, even through to the university.
Well, I think that some mothers or some parents can do that, but because of maybe their religious stance they kind of have, they wouldn't be able to buy you condoms
and
because they are looking at you to abstain.
Yes.
Martha, sorry, but I was just really waiting for us to go into this conversation about religion because, I believe that religious institutions have a serious role to play when it comes to this conversation. 2 days ago, the National Youth Authority held a reproductive health talk, and it was a panel discussion. I was there, and the conversation on talking or letting their people's kids know about sex and all these things, and not hiding it and making it look like religions don't ask people to talk about it. It's a big problem because you see, religious institutions will talk about abstinence, and that's not a problem, But if you are pretending as if the conversation doesn't exist in the faith, I think it's unfair to the believers. I mean, I can speak. Maybe you could share with us from
there are even certain let me say churches. They punish you for making a mistake. Like say you indulge in premarital sex and you've gotten pregnant. There is punishment for you in the church for everyone to know that this is why they are punishing you.
No, but
they've not created platforms
exactly.
to educate them.
And it's not that. And you see, the issue I have, and I'm so passionate about it is not that the religious institutions don't have them. They don't have those structures that allow for that.
Please don't get emotional.
Yeah, no, I believe is the
I want us to go for a break,
Yeah,
and then we come back and delve into the fact that has religion contributed to some of these things that we actually fighting? So like he said, we don't educate them and we expect that they know. They should know better. Then we only want to punish them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yele, yele, yela, yele. Oh, a life with this man is beautiful. Sing to the glory of
Oh, yeah, sing to the glory of God.
Sing to the glory of
Oh, yeah, sing to the glory of God.
It's he I know. Everywhere I go, it's he I see. Anything I do, it's he I go. Seeking first all things you shall get.
Welcome back. So the pastors, the imams, the evangelists, and every kind of religious leader. I think culturally and in the religion perspective, we know that premarital sex isn't right and you have to get married before you have sex. But unfortunately for us, young people are having sex. Can we still ask them to abstain? Are there measures we can make to educate the youth in the mosque, in the church for abstinence? Few days ago, I was somewhere and then we were having a discussion, and a young girl, that was before Vows Day that time, and this conversation came. I think the boy was about 8, 9, or I don't think he's up to even 10 years. It was like, oh, that he wants to give a flower to. No, I think there was this conversation, and someone said, "Hey, you! I heard you give a flower to this other girl. And they are classmates, or maybe like neighbors." Then it was like, yeah, it was like. Then the adult was like, "And you, this small boy," I tried to downplay the fact that the boy gave a flower to the girl. I was like, and the boy was like, "But that's my friend."
So innocent.
So I at a point told them that we are those exposing the children to think that there is more to giving a flower to the opposite sex.
Exactly.
So how is it possible that I can walk with Susan, hold her hands and walk like 5-year-olds? But let us see 5-year-olds, a boy and a girl, holding hands and walking. It's in their innocence. We will think sexual about that act. Are we to blame? I think all of us at one point in time have shifted from the perspective. Why do we always think that when a boy and a girl are standing, they are dating? Especially for children. There's this innocence children carry. And until an adult exposes them to the fact that whatever they are doing is romantic or something, they will not even know.
I would look at it from two dimensions. I think the first concern would be that people do not trust the social net anymore. Look at these days, the cases we are hearing of sexual abuse. It's within. Those days, uncles and aunties you would expect you could leave your child in and go and come. They are not the ones introducing them to things. You get it? That is one perspective. And two, the media exposure. You know, you know that there are so many things that our children are learning, that it's not from word, it's not even from friends.
Yeah.
It's from, I go to my friend Kwame's house, we are going to watch cartoons, and all of a sudden, telenovela. Then you know what we see in there.
I went to a house.
You get the point.
I went to a house one day, and I think they had been watching the telenovela a long time. And I think the father was busy, so the station was on, and they were watching. The father was like, "What's happened? I didn't come early today. What's happened?"
Storyteller.
And the child was narrating
Yeah.
what had happened
Yeah.
to the father,
Yeah, exactly.
and he's in class 2.
So, Martha, just imagine if this
And
young
it's like
boy,
like a very close family, like family, not family. When I say family, like blood family. And that day, I was so ashamed, and I was like, I think he should know better. You shouldn't let class 2.
yeah. So
narrating-
if this young boy has a female friend,
Just
everybody is
test.
now not trusting that somebody's child has got better, better experience. So when you see the two, you are already bothered. You get it? So for me, I believe it's these two perspectives. The very first critical one is the breaking of the social net. Those days when you saw someone's child going the wrong path, they will discipline the child. When the child is going, the child will clean the eyes, will remove
Your
the
mother will
tears.
beat you in
Because if you ask what happened, they'll beat you in hand. They're not money, go and thank the person who did that. But today, the abuses are from within. There's no trust in the system.
Let's look at what you have for us, Susan. You have done some of these things, and I particularly want to see the reusable parts.
Yeah.
No, just
normal part.
just display them, and I think this one day everybody knows. Just display what we don't know yet.
I've heard so much about it.
Um,
Haven't seen it before.
I'm surprised people can use a tampon
They
because
do. They actually
I can't.
I went for an event and I was
Okay.
giving some, and when I used it, it was so painful. It was
Is
but
it flexible?
It's cotton actually.
Okay,
Right?
so
yes,
Yeah,
you
great.
can open it. So we are showing you this for people. Yes, you can go ahead and open it in the rural communities who may not necessarily have access to the disposable sanitary pads. These are some of the things that you can have access for your ward, or you have some kind of money that you want to support young girls, buying them some of these pads at once, and what do they use the next month? You can buy some of these reusable pads for them as well. So she's about to show us a tampon. Hey, how have you opened it?
and she's
As
taking
when we
the.
go to the communities, we in particular we handle deprived communities, deprived girls and women in deprived communities. Some of them have never even seen pad, complex of it.
Very true.
So we go with all and everything, and then we show it to them. They should just have an idea that aside the pad they use, there are other products that they can use. So this is the tampon. We set it with this handle.
Okay. Looks very compressed.
So the blood will make it come out.
Yeah. It expands when it
So
meets
the
with
hanging, no,
liquid.
how will it be? To just be hanging?
Inside the dress. That's what you do. Just pull out.
It's not
You can pull with the
tearing.
flat
Right?
suit.
It won't tear.
No, it won't
Hey.
tear. It won't tear.
Okay.
It won't tear. It's very safe. And these are the reusable pads. It's very
Feels thick.
I don't know if I have the heart to use this
You can.
because of the washing. Even with this one, cry, sometimes you don't even want to look at it. And we putting it in water. Age, you buy a lot of omo.
No. It's actually easy to wash. Touch it. When it's soaked in blood, then you even squeeze.
Mm.
Yes. So it's very easy. The moment you
Wait
put it
to-
inside water,
So
fresh blood, not.
I know, but so you remove it.
So what I'm trying to say, when you put it inside
So-
water, like
so-
it's easy for the blood to take off and
It.
be washed off. Sorry, you'll be fine. This is the shield. This is where we put the napkin inside like this. You see, the normal part comes with wings.
Yes.
This the shield also comes with wings. So this is the napkin inside. See how it is.
Try it on the pants. Let me see.
And then you now open up your pants. The same way you put your pants, put it like this.
Is it as comfortable as
Very, very comfortable.
this one?
You wouldn't get cuts. That's why it's very soft.
Yeah.
It's made of
Smooth.
soft. And with this material, there wouldn't be leakage to the pants.
Yes.
There's
yes.
been a lot of thought into making this.
So we are done. So it holds the pants firmly.
It feels shaky for me.
Nah, it doesn't. It's very, very comfortable.
Do they come in different sizes?
Yes. Are you good? You get it?
Yes.
So we also comes with a napkin. Those who will be changing in the schools, after you are done, like you want to, this one is soaked, you take it off, then you change fresh one inside. Then you keep this one very safe, like the soaked one very safe inside a rubber. So after school, when you go home, you wash it and then you dry it. After you are done changing everything, you wash your hands with the soap, and then you use this to wipe your hands nicely. Then you go back to the classroom.
But I'm still wondering how many young girls in the rural because I'm saying this because I have seen I'm
You know,
getting
Martha,
emotional about
I
it.
can
I
get,
don't know.
I can get your concern.
Yes.
But looking at this, it just hits me that wait a minute, this is not so new
Yeah.
to people.
Yes.
You know, because our mothers, I think not
Yes.
that they used to call the pan chili.
Yeah. They
You
are
know,
those-
the one that you would
they
put
just-
under
yeah.
and then you would use and what. But if you look at this, it is a modified
manner,
version of it.
yeah.
So the use of it, I don't believe would be so complicated and
No, it's not
something
the
that
use of it. I mean access.
access.
So
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
we know that Rhoda and Co are making a lot of things like this. And then I interviewed her on one of our episodes as well.
We actually
And-
partnering with her for this.
Yes, but I'm just saying that our mothers, what they had were the ones that rags or cloth they don't need again.
Yes.
So it was not in a properly shaped as this has been.
Yeah.
But even as this is properly shaped, we are selling it. Right. How many people in the rural communities would want to buy this?
Well, with Protect Our Future, we are not selling.
They give it out for free.
We give it out to them for free.
Mm.
This whole package, 3 napkins. Where is the last one? The 3 napkins with this, the pants, the soap.
They give them at least one pad, pants in
Yes,
addition.
one girl. So even if she's bleeding, she can change like twice, 3 times in a day. 3 napkins, 1 shield, 1 towel, 1 soap, and then
So
one
in a day, look, how would she? Because if I'm using this in the
it's
morning,
supposed to be 4.
at what point do I change, wash it, and dry it before I can wear it
Depending
again?
on the girl, depending on the individual. Some get very light flow for say the 4 or 5 days. Some lead up to 7 days. So depending on you,
Some
will
2
have-
days.
Yes.
2
So yeah,
2 days.
you would know how heavy your flow is and how light it is to be able to determine how to change it. But we advise that 4 hours is always
Great.
our-
It's always good to give a range.
So 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours. That's 8. So
So when you go to the rural, some close at 12, some close at 1.
some will even wear clothes from school before they'll go and
Fine,
change.
You will talk,
But they will still do that at the end because in this rural community, there's no place to really change. I remember when I went for one of our donations, I wanted a place to change my pad. I wasn't getting a place to change my pad. So I had to walk a distance to like a bushy area
Yeah.
just to change my pad. And luckily, I always have wet wipes with me, so it's easier to clean yourself without water and all of that. So I think that that they will prefer to kind of after school they will change, or they don't go to school at all.
You know, for this conversation, what's really is important for me is the fact that one, there's something like this that is available that can be used in the rural community, and also that pushes us to the bigger conversation of trying to push for wash facilities, especially in schools, because after the home, children go to school and they learn new things, right? So when they go and they have those facilities there, then it becomes easy for them to, okay, I can go here and maybe I need to have this and that and that. Everything of development conversation usually start from the schools.
when we went to Upper East, Tongo to be precise, one of the schools was actually headed by a head teacher. He was so the girls were special to this man that he created a changing room.
Yeah.
When they were building the new block, they had a block C that they built for them. One whole room just for the girls to change.
Wow.
That's
So
that's a
this, when
sensitive.
we were forced to leave like
leader.
extra 4 or 5 boxes for them in the school there.
How do you
So
get
he made
funding
sure
for
that
this?
every month we mostly it comes from my salary.
Wow.
My salary, and then family and friends. We come up with flyers. We
So
post
for
them,
donations.
yes, and then people come up. We call for donations, and then the few people that it touches their hearts, they come forward to support us to come up with the pads. It's not really easy. A box of pad alone in town can cost now it's 10 cedis.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty expensive.
Now it's not 10 cedis.
I
And that
was-
even depends on the brand.
It's shot up straight to 10
So I knew it
cedis.
was 6-7 there about.
It's now 10 cedis. So and a whole box that I used to buy the
I forgot
24.
Okay, some is 48. I think I bought 48 for some girls. I had some 50 girls I was mentoring. So
Yeah.
at the end of the month, I bought like 48, and I just bought 2 extra to add up to the
add to
50.
it. Now
So
go
that-
back to the market.
It's been a long time I've bought pad myself.
For 64. When I went, it was 96.
A lot of things. A
96.
box of chicken. I have box of chicken I used to buy, but last week I was going to buy some. They increased the price as if I should cry. Like the
Things are shooting.
Charlie,
Actually,
they had
Things
added
are
over 10
shooting.
cedis
So
within
imagine
2 months.
that we are even working.
It's not easy.
We are
I
only
remember
small,
I
and we
I was just there, and some people contacted me, and I was doing some work for them, and they gave me like play for more than a year. I haven't bought pad. I even shared some. They gave me a lot of pads, and so I've not bought pads. So when some people were like, they had also telling me, "Nah, man, you have to pads."
And
So
you are
don't
kind of
worry,
the people
bro.
who get
It's
serious
true,
shock
yes.
when you
go
hear
to
the
buy,
price of a pad. And
Because
even
I
that even depends on their brand.
Yes.
Because some
Yes, that
brands
depends
are
on the brand.
yes,
expensive
The
yes.
popular
than
ones
others.
are very expensive, like almost 200.
Mm.
Almost 200. But there are some brands that are actually very good too, but are not very popular.
Yes,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, yes,
so
yes,
we go
yes.
for
I
those
think
ones.
there is this part that it has a bag with a zip in it,
Yes.
and it has a lot inside. So sometimes I advise most girls to buy that one because
They are 12. They are 12. Units.
I think so,
That's
or a
all.
bit more. I've not counted
So the
so.
number ones are 8. Some
Yes.
of them 6. But
Yeah.
that one is 12.
Okay,
12 and
okay,
six.
okay. Yes, so like, but the one that I was given is just 8 inside also, and it's over 20 cedis. That's at that time that this one was even 7 cedis.
20.
Yes, it's for treatment of candidizers, abdominal pain.
So it's a special
It
type of
reduces
pad.
the abdominal pains and all of that. So, I was happy because I don't know if I'd have been able to buy plenty as much as they gave me also. But maybe so you see, sometimes even buying pad is not easy. Sometimes you even forget to add pad to the things you have to buy.
Yeah.
How much more somebody who is not even any kind of income? And I think that right now, I think that the mothers are not so much to be blamed. I think the fathers can take some of these things up. The
Yeah.
school authorities can take these things up. And sometimes I wonder why some of these things are also being taxed. Sanitary pads is something that the government, so the government and agencies, the Ministry of Gender, this is something that you can lobby for. If maybe if you can reduce the tax percentages so that they can make some of these things available and affordable for young people, because sometimes you need sometimes even more than 3 pads in a day. So imagine how many you are using if you are bleeding for say 7 days.
Yeah.
The whole box will not be enough for you.
Yes, a whole pack would not be enough.
I mean,
So
that conversation has really been a serious one,
A lot of
especially on
people
the
are
global level, pushing for, taking off taxes on the pad because of the implications it has for girls going to school. And I remember when we were celebrating menstrual hygiene last year,
yes.
Sabulugu
Yeah,
was
some
well
stories
taken.
you need to share.
Yes, I mean, the link was very clear. I remember an article I read that said that not being able to tackle this issue of ladies or young girls getting access to menstrual hygiene or the pads, it has implications for women's leadership.
That's true.
Yes, because if girls are dropping out
And getting pregnant.
and getting pregnant, what happens in the near future? Do you get the point? So some things look very small, but the implications in the near future, in a world where we are moving into where there's so much concern about ensuring that in your country you have the human resource to drive your country to the place it needs to get to. These are things we really need to focus on. And I remember when we opened the Q&A session, there's one question that a girl asked. She was asking, and it scared me so much. She said someone told her that if she's menstruating and she has sex, she will not get pregnant.
Misinformation.
I wasn't so scared about the misinformation, but the first thing was, who told her that?
I spoke with some school children, and they told me, we're talking about our reproductive health, or from their perspective, what they understand by it. And they told me that what they have heard is that they heard a story of a young girl who was menstruating, and then boys told her that, and her friends told her that now she needs a boyfriend to help her be buying pad every month. So if she starts menstruating, it's a sign that you now need a boyfriend, because that is who will give you the pad.
You see, Martha, what worried me about that question was that for me, my worry was that someone was using that information to ensure that every time she's menstruating, he's having sex with her.
Yeah.
That was what, amongst all the questions, that was the one that bothered me. You know, someone is using the vulnerability of this young lady during her menstrual cycle. Oh, you will not get pregnant. Come and let's do it and you go. You get it. So access to information, the right information on menstrual hygiene, how to keep yourself very well is so essential. And when it's coming from the wrong sources, it's bad. And that's why we encourage both parents. I usually do not like to limit it to mothers.
Yeah.
We need to make it a holistic conversation where both fathers and mothers are having a certain role to play when it comes to these conversations. Because if you are not investing and you are sitting down thinking that you are shy to talk about it, her friend in the class who has seen it all and heard it all will tell her the thing and add, yaji, spices and things to it that will make it more attractive to him. And at the end of the day, she's lost.
See, that also, parents in particular, they need to stand up. We go to communities. Some of these girls are from very poor homes. So poor that they go out, they bring things in, and parents don't even ask.
We are happy. If you go and bring me a bag of rice, it doesn't matter where you got it. I'm eating jollof today. And I'll tell you that
then after
please,
3
once
or
you are
4
going, when
months-
you are coming, bring me something.
Exactly.
After
The
3
child
or
is
4 months,
leaving
if she
house-
gets pregnant, then you now want to start the
Fine.
analysis there.
No, they will only be worried if the one who impregnated the girl is poor.
Oh.
If the person
This
has
is
a
community,
motorbike
a very
and has a
remote
car,
community.
they'll
Either
say,
way.
and Dema, or how do they say it? My in-law. They'll start calling you in. I've seen those things in Gambaga
But you
and
see,
even
it's
around.
there. But let's not forget the issue of family honor. It still tarnishes.
It does.
And those are only things they use to make the thing look like it's not a big deal.
It
But
tarnishes-
within the family, it's an issue
So
of
they'll
family
cover
honor.
it up with early marriage. So when they used to do that, also they come to pay your bride price and marry.
Your mother will not look
that's
at
what-
you the same way.
No!
Hey!
Once you talk about what the mother said, don't do. Let's go for a
No,
break.
we don't
We'll be
look at
right
it the
back.
same way. Let's leave that one, cry.
Hey.
It won't happen.
By Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of kingdom dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle and many more.
So yes, there are some mothers. COVID came in and distracted some of my major activities. I've been thinking of how to get it back again. I've been a bit lazy. I usually have every parents conference every quarter. Should I say conference or day? But I don't do it like in the like in Tamale. I go to like Banyamni, like Zoo, the outskirts. So when I go, I just gather the parents in the community, and every community have a community center. I gather them under some trees, and we talk every quarter. I did some with Bintu, Mustafa, and even other people as well. And most of the time, a father got up and said that the wife is the reason why his daughter is spoiled. He keeps asking, where is this girl? Oh, she's in the room. Oh, I've just sent her. She'll come now. Oh, he's in the room. One particular day, in the room, and she's the one lying down. I forgot that it's not everyone understand that one. She's the one who is lying down. The father went to check, and it was like somebody was lying down covered. But it was like, nego, you wake her up for like 2 or 3 times. So one day he was looking for the wife. The wife was not there. Then he just opened. So he thought that was a daughter. I was like, get up and fetch some water for me or to bath or something. No human being is talking. Get her, I don't mind me. And went to tap the baby is like a blanket.
Yeah.
And it was foam and teddy bear.
Hmm.
And the wife came,
Takashi.
where is the girl? The man said it. The man said, I was there. In fact, I organized that conference because I was speaking about how to put their children in school. And the man was like, so he is the man. After he goes out or he's at the, they have these days. So when he comes back home, it's you, the mother, who is at home cooking with her. Culturally, you cook with your mom.
Yes.
So at the end of the night, where is the girl? And the girl bring things, and it was like the girl was holding a particular phone, and the mother lied that she bought the phone for the girl.
Yeah.
And the father did not. And so that was so extent the fact that if you, the father, also have a relationship with your daughters,
Exactly.
you find some of these things. Sorry, even before they come out. And he was saying that I don't know what that it's brought out divorce. I don't know whether they have divorced or they were just thinking of divorce, but it was a big issue. So sometimes I don't think that it's really the girl's fault, and they don't know, because asking, I think behind the scenes we're talking about a mother always asking the daughter for money for daily upkeep. How do you ask? How do you ask me to? Why am I your husband? Am I who can be married? I was my son when you gave birth to me. So, or me, I keep saying that all the time. And I'm like, I was my son when people gave up to me. So, if I'm giving you something as my parents, I would love that I'm giving it to you. But at what point should a mother make your 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter to feel like it's her responsibility to give birth, like to take care of you?
How does a 14-year-old child
Yes.
even take care of a grown-up?
If the structure in the family is broken, that's what will happen. If the father, for example, is not doing what he's supposed to do, and the mother needs to make things happen, what will happen? She'll be forced to look at the girl to do something. It sounds weird, This issue you talked about, fathers complaining. We did some every year or every quarter, we have what we call the regional stakeholders dialogue on ending child marriage, which we do in a number of places. The recent one we did was in Karaga and Bushi. And when we bring most of the leaders from the communities to talk about these issues, we go back to those communities that we invited to check up and see how they are implementing some of the action plans they came up with. And so we went to a particular community, and then the conversation began, the same thing, kayaye, or all those kind of things. Then the men started, oh, it is the women, it is the women, it is the women. Then we tried to peck the women to speak up. And then one woman got up and said, yes, we do it. If I get up in the morning, my daughter needs something. The man is not providing it. I don't have the money.
So you give her the freedom.
Yes, you give her the freedom to go and look for it and come back. I even remember within that sitting, there was a funny story a man gave that his own daughter, he realized that she wasn't in the house in the evenings. One evening it was cloudy, and then he was just going around to see if everybody was around. Then he saw the wife and asked the wife that he cannot find the daughter. Where's the daughter? And the woman said, haven't you seen that it is cloudy? Get the drift. If it is cold, what do we usually see? She's going to enjoy herself somewhere. So let her go enjoy and bring something, we'll come enjoy. But in as much as we say the mothers are doing that, let's look at the full structure. If you, the man at home, you are supposed to be making sure that certain things are, and then you are not doing it, what do you leave? You don't give the woman enough, and you don't give your daughter the attention. You go to the farm, you come back straight to base, and you go and sit at base and talk. And culturally, yes, the girl the girl will be the mother. But let's be realistic. It takes two to bring up a child and raise a child. It takes two to conceive, because the woman is not going to sit there in a pregnancy and come. So if it comes out, it takes the both of us To what? To make things move.
Time is not on our side. What are the final words, the punchlines that you want anyone watching you, fathers, mothers, guardians, the Ministry of Gender, and all of that? Very soon I'll be doing a lot some ministerial and political interviews because sometimes I bring my
Important.
guests here and we talk and it's like I'm not hitting on the stakeholders. Yeah.
So, first, we just finished talking about the home. We want to entreat parents to really, really, really pay more attention to the home. You go to base, but you still come back to the house as a father. As a mother, you go to market, you are still coming back to the house. The home is the first school, the first education center for the child. Pay attention to them. Create an environment whereby, even if you cannot talk, but create an environment whereby the girls, your children can come to you, whether it's a boy or it's a girl, can come to you and talk about everything. If you observe, when you put a nodding child in a salon and you tell them to talk about menses or sex,
Hey.
you will feel shy for the nodding child. We've all gone to school, we've been with them. But the way they even talk about sex, the way they talk about, hey, mother, you know what I'm talking about. But bring a nodding child. First of all, the womb she's coming from is not. The
Taboo
society-
conversation.
Shy. Yeah, they
Yes.
can't have, yeah.
It's
You have just
like
barely 1
society
minute to
is
wrap
just
up.
laughing on you. When we come to the school too, we are pleading on teachers. They don't just come to the classroom and teach them and go. We know the system is not good. It's not good for everybody. But this one of the days,
system.
parents, teacher will beat you in the school, follow you to the house and tell your parents this is what you did.
Yeah.
And then the punishment continues. Now they just
Okay.
come teach and they say they shouldn't beat children.
Hey,
again. So anything
You
they
can't be my
a
child.
student got up and asked, we talked about sex and abuse and what you should do. And this was done at Togo, the Galamsey area. And I went with the girl child education officer there. And one of the girls got up and asked me, Madam, you say if my uncle or anybody touch me in a way that is rude, and I tell him to stop and he doesn't, I should come and tell my teachers. What if it is my teacher who is touching me like that?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Yes, I'll be talking about that as well. How to get those reported. Yeah, let me just hear from you.
Yeah, so mine is very simple. In every belief system, whether you're Christian, you're Muslim, even traditional, whatever faith, I'm sure it is written somewhere that a child is a responsibility. And when you are given something as a responsibility, it means you will account for it. So be sure that you raise your child in such a way that whoever you are answering to, that you believe gave you that child, you'll be able to answer to that person well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have looked about at a lot of things, and if you are watching us, I believe that you've learned something that would help you to rebrand and rebuild your family, especially the nuclear family, to make sure that your child comes out to be a different and a more better person. If you watch my episode with students from the SIA, I told them about the social welfare and DOPSU. These are places you can get more of these cases reported. If you're a child or a young person watching, or even an adult, and you have gone through any form of abuse, you can get to these institutions to go and report any form of abuse. And our fathers, get to build a relationship with your daughters, because a lot of them can get abused and they cannot say. Even some of them, your friends you bring to their house are abusing your daughters, but they can't talk about it. Sometimes too, they don't they say things and you don't believe them because you feel like, but this your uncle cannot do this. It is not. Sometimes listen to them, and that is why they'll be able to confide in you. Young girls are going through a lot. This discussion cannot be done in one episode, but I believe that we have touched base some of these areas so that it will help you to make sure that your daughters are strong and they are healthy. This year, I don't want to hear about any rape issue because sometimes it breaks my heart and I'm like, am I really working? Am I really working in the area for children and young people and even women especially? Thank you very much for watching the Reflection Show on YouTube, Martha Inspires, Facebook, Martha Inspires Foundation, and then you can call us on 054-9578-512. I have been speaking with Madam Khadija of Sweda Ghana, and also Susan of Protect Our Future Foundation. We are all working together to make sure that young children or young girls are being able to live purposeful life and stay strong and stay healthy. Get in touch as always, and let's bring more great content to you at your doorstep. My name is Martha Anabila. Do have a good night.